Hello everybody, this is your boy bringing you this video, and like I said in the last video, I'm bringing you the yesterday's game stats. But before I begin, don't forget to smash those likes and let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Please share and subscribe this video, and to the ones who are not subscribed to the video after you're viewing this content, please come back to the channel, sub the station, cause that will make these videos circulate through all our social media and YouTube land for your enjoying pleasure. Let's begin. All right. As you're quite aware, the Eagles won that game 24-20. They barely scraped and clawed this game, and I'm gonna give you a reason why in the video after I'm done explaining what I explain. So I'm going to get to these stats. Hurts threw for 152 yards, no touchdowns, 19 or 23 on the passing. No scoring touchdown on the passing game, but he was able to rush for 82 yards, 62 yards on 14 carries. He got 2 scores there. Dawson had 3 for 59 yards, no score. I will talk about the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm mentioning the Cowboys while I'm editing as well, because this is just the game leaders. Dak Prescott threw 21, 34, 188 yards, no touchdown scores, but but the running back Williams had 54 yards, 2 scores. He scored the Cowboys only 2 touchdowns in the game. CeeDee Lamb had 110 yards on 7 receptions. Now the Eagles could did better containing CeeDee Lamb, but the question is with that though, CeeDee Lamb was all over the place, and so they lined up mostly against Adoree Jackson, who was a victim of abuse in the passing game. But when Quentin Michael was up against him, Quentin Michael had about, I think he did like 2 catches on Quentin, but Adoree Jackson, where he got most of the catches from. So that was the game leader on that. So they get to the player stats, which I'm going to talk about only just the Eagles. Like I mentioned in the video, he had 152 yard passing, no scores off 19 or 23 passing, 94.2 yards in grade per average. Okay, rushing 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. Barkley had 60 yards on 18 carries, 19 was a long 1 score. Shipley with 26 yards off 3 carries, no score. And Dillon with 3 for 10, 9 long, no score. Receiving goes to Dotson, who had the most catches with 59 yards on 3 carries, 3 receptions. Goddard was 7 for 44. Barkley was 4 for 24. He had that's the most catches he had in one game so far. Shipley was 1 for 20. Smith, Devontae Smith was 2 for 18 yards. Brown was 1 for 8 yards, and that's the lowest that he had in one game. So the Eagles probably gonna go change their passing game in next game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Granson was 1 for 1 on that one. And nobody scored no touchdown on the receiving end of the football, just to let you guys know. And hit the defense. Bond with 9. Okay, I'm going tackles and assists all the way down to FF. Okay, Adoree Jackson was 7 for 2. Davis was 6 for 3. Cooper DeJean was 5 for 2. Nolan Smith was 4 for 3. Quentin Michael was 4 for 1. McCooper was 4 for 1. Blankenship was 3 for 0. Bennett was 3 for 0. Hunt was 3 for 2. Campbell was 3 for 3. Oh yeah, Jason Campbell also had the 4th fumble. He the only one that had the negative play, that one the 1/4 fumble. And Brian Young was 1 for 1, and Ojambo was 1 for 1. I don't see the other defensive tackle. I don't know what's going on there. Kick returns. Metchie was 1 for 20 yards, 20.0, 20 was the long. Shipley was 1 for 12. 12 average, 12 was the long. Eagles had no punt returns. Jake Elliott was 1 for 1 for 58.0. 58 was the long. He was 3 for 3 on the extra point kicking. He only had that one. He kicked on the 3 field. He was 3 for 3, but he only had 1 3. He only had 1 kick for 3. He was up 21-20, but when he kicked that field goal, it gave him the extra 3 point, make it 24-20. Brian Mann was 3 for 46 yards, 48.7 was the long 51. He had 2 inside the 20. Called those 2 kicks that he kicked inside the 20 against Turbine, whatever his name was, for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, those are your stats for the game, for the entire game. Now, let's get to why the Eagles won the football game. If you guys ain't quite aware, if you haven't watched the game, the beginning of the game, on the first play of the game, Dak Prescott, where the Eagles won the coin toss, but they had to flip the coin toss over to the Cowboys, and so the Cowboys was calling their first play of the game. Dak Prescott was in his circle offensive lineman giving the next play out. Dak Prescott spit on the Dak Prescott spit on the ground, but Carter took it as, and so he thought that was spitting on him. So when Carter called out Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott stopped and walked out off his next play for the offensive line. And so when Carter told us, and this is what I've heard, and they said when Carter said that, he asked him, "Were you trying to spit on me?" Dak Prescott said, "No, I wasn't trying to spit at you." So Carter spit on him, and he did it right in front of the referee. Now, he could have did anything. He could have just not did nothing, just stood there. But instead, he spit right on Dak Prescott. He didn't spit in his face, but the spit hit his chest. And he did it right in front of the referee, in front of the Cowboys, the towel boy, whoever he was. So you got a referee and a towel boy who were giving Dak Prescott, I guess, a bottle of Gatorade, whatever it was, and he did it right in front of 2 witnesses. And the referee saw it and threw the flag. And when he threw the flag, he kicked Carter out the entire game. That right there was the negative against the Eagles defense, because Carter commands a lot of attention because of his speed and accuracy off the football. He commands a lot of attention. That attention was put away, or should I say wiped away, in the entire game. But this year, the Eagles had a hard time stopping the run. That presently, the Cowboys ran the football really hard against the Eagles defense, and the Eagles defense couldn't even stop the run. Couldn't stop it, much less the passing game. So that lets you know right there, one player can affect the entire game or wreck the game if you do anything negative against your team, against another team. That is what hurt this Eagles team overall, because the Eagles should have won this game in grand fashion. Carter was the reason why. Now, with that being said, he's facing a possible 1-game suspension and a possible fine. The NFL is going to review this game probably this week, because week after that, in 17th, and when the Eagles play the next game against Kansas City Chiefs. So he more like to miss that game, and that game is going to be a negative effect against the Eagles. So that's going to give Vic Fangio a little time to readjust this offense and this defensive line, because he might have to pay more. He might have to play 5 down linemen in every game. That's what's going to wind up happening, which means it'll be 5 linemen, 5 defensive backs, and 2 linebackers, more than likely, the entire game to stop the run, because Kansas City Chiefs is going to run in football. With what the Cowboys did week 1, Thursday night, Kansas City Chiefs more do the same goddamn thing. And that's really, really sad. I hate that. I hate that. I mean, I hate Carter did that. I really hated he did, because he may have just cost the Eagles the game against Kansas City Chiefs. But we'll see how they're going to work out. And next Sunday after next game against Kansas City, we'll see what happened there. But that's my entire analysis of the game, the score, the game recap. Hope you guys like that. Please come in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you didn't like. I gave you my likes and dislikes, more dislikes than anything. But that's what I want to let you guys know. You guys enjoy your Friday. I'm going to try to enjoy my best I can, part because now I'm not happy at all. I was happy when the game started, but I was very depressed. I'm not depressed, but I was very, very upset when Carr did what he did and could have cost the Eagles the game last night, and I'm really disappointed about him at all. He really disappointed me. He really did. So you guys enjoy your Friday, y'all. Peace out. Hope you guys can smile better than I can. Hope you can. Peace.